Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this week's Furman Football Weekly with head coach Clay Hendricks. We are here to talk about last Saturday's game with Charleston Southern and look ahead to this coming Saturday's home game with Stetson, a 2 o'clock kick. We will give you broadcast information about that coming up at the end of the press conference. Joining Coach Hendricks today are players Luke Clark and Baylor Hughes. And as always, Coach, we will ask you to open the proceedings with a statement.
Okay, well, thank you, Dan. Appreciate you again being here. Certainly very disappointed in the result of the game Saturday night. Give them a lot of credit doing the things they had to do to get a win, and we didn't do the things we needed to do. And you know, we're obviously a work in progress, which continues. You know, a program that I think this program's always been built on. I told our staff today in there, you know, we got to be a program that does common tasks uncommonly well. We've all heard that quote, and right now we're not doing those common tasks uncommonly well. And you know, we got a really fine margin. It's kind of razor thin right now, doing those things really well. And you know, I think a lot of that is a little bit of youth and experience. It's also our job, it's my job to get us to that point. You know, and I think you know, obviously the glaring things are the turnovers. You know, I don't know, been coaching a long time, would have ever won a game 4-0 turnover, you know, margin. We had every opportunity to still win a game, you know, so I kind of see that as a positive. We've also not created any, you know, something we've been really, really good at. You know, and so those are things we're working hard daily to get better at. You know, and just everything we want is still out there in front of us. I think sometimes I feel like I told the staff this morning, I felt like we've been 5 games in the way the thing started, but we're not. You know, I just kind of see we lost a game the other night. We felt like we should have won, and got another one to play this week. Been pointing to the conference schedule all along, and we still got a couple of weeks to get ourselves ready for that, which is the most important part to all of us. But no, with that, any questions you may have?
I'm sure that Northern Illinois went into the game with Notre Dame feeling like they could win, and they did. But do you think when you play a game like Ole Miss, do you think it's almost like you didn't have an opener and you sort of lose the optimism that goes into the start of the season?
Well, I do feel like this. I felt like, I told our staff yesterday, I felt like, it almost feels like it was one of those scrimmages back in August, and it really felt like Saturday was the opener. I'm not sure I've ever felt like that. And I felt like we've made a lot of opener mistakes, which, you know, I mean, that also can be excused. I don't really say that's just kind of how I felt. So I just think we're still early in this process. Nobody's panicking. I knew we had some challenges. You know, again, I just think the margins are razor thin. And, you know, I think it's as simple as they threw 2 go balls. We're in great position on both of them. Their guy makes a play on both of them. And they get 2 touchdowns out of it. You know, one thing you've heard me talk about is being better at throwing the ball down the field. And we have been all August. You know, we threw 2 down. We had 2 chances the other night. One was a gimme touchdown. We overthrow it. The other we got beat. They weren't covered well, and we throw it out of bounds. And you know, we had a couple of those at Ole Miss. One was a contested ball that we had a great chance to maybe go get. We didn't. The other one we missed a throw, and that's the difference in the game alone. Turnovers put our defense in really bad spots. You know, I think people will say that yeah, we didn't give up a lot of yards the other night, but we still didn't play to the level. You know, our third down defense wasn't real good. Red zone wasn't up to what we expect. Didn't get turnovers. You know, we still hurt ourselves with some penalties, especially offensively. So again, it's just stuff we got to continue to work at. But no, I kind of feel like that. I mean, hopefully, I'm hoping. You know, I kind of saw this as maybe week 2. Maybe we see the big jump from week 1 to week 2. Hopefully they'll show up this week.
So look, overall, how do you feel like the defense played, and what do you expect this year?
I definitely think we played all right. There's definitely a lot of things we need to get better at. Just tackling, like Coach said, creating turnovers is something we pride ourselves on. We haven't really done yet. I definitely say we've kind of played like a young team. I think you can see some guys that are a little bit hesitant, and I think going into next week, what we can expect is just to see some of those guys really take that step forward and become confident players. Like Coach said, it's kind of hard going from Ole Miss to that type of level of competition, then back to FCS, and I think they've seen kind of both like sides of the talent spectrum, and I think just for our team, we just need to get back to playing team defense, just tackle better and create turnovers. But I think the sky's the limit for our team still.
Clay, we all saw, I guess, the good and the bad of playing a young quarterback with what we saw from Trey. Just what was your assessment of overall the way he played, and where do you want to see his improvement from week 2 to week 3?
Well, first thing I'd say is, nobody that carries the ball for you or takes, touches the ball in offense. Ball security is job security. So we got to take it. That's always number one in everything we do. Because like I said, just really difference in the game. I think it's pretty obvious. If you watch that game, it's pretty obvious when he came in there. Both spark. He's got talent. It doesn't seem to phase him a whole lot. Now there can be some bad in that sometimes too. I think a little bit of that's taking care of the ball. We felt like we needed a boost in the throw game. We felt like we missed some opportunities through the first quarter. I know he came second when it was, but he saw some immediate stuff. We still have a lot of confidence in Carson. But we just felt like that's a little bit of where we were. It feels like 2 games we've kind of been playing on an uphill field. I don't know why I feel that way, but it just feels that way, and you just feel like you've got to be perfect with all your calls. But no, certainly made some plays, still missed a bunch of opportunities, and some of those were mental. Both those guys were just not going to the right place with the ball, and we say it should be a really pretty common decision to make sometimes, but until you get put in that situation, you don't probably do that very well. But did some really good stuff. I think again, made of the right stuff. Coach does a great job coaching those guys up. I think they'll continue to get better. I know I've been a part of playing some freshman guys. We've down here a little bit. It's not where you want to be, ideally, but it's just a little bit of where we are in the nature of the world right now. And Luke made the comments on those defensive guys. We got some guys that just need to play. They need to play with more confidence because they're very capable. And I see it in practice, but you got to be able to go into the game and play with the same confidence. Because again, there's some talent there, and it's playing off receivers too much. It's not like we're sitting there backing up, letting make some easy throws, and then playing the ball in the air. The key is put yourself in a position that you can go play the ball in the air. And I think we've done that, but we're just not making. We're kind of over, deep balls, even offensively. So we'll keep working at it. We've shown we can do it, but you got to be able to do it in the game.
Coach, coming up this next game with Stetson, they're averaging 0 points in the first quarter, but they're also averaging 28 points in the third and fourth quarter, which means they're making a lot of adjustments and really ending strong compared to starting strong. Does that change your philosophy in this game that you need to jump out? And then Luke, what is your thoughts knowing that this team is very well coached in the second half?
I don't. I just think where we are, and it's not much different any week. We just need to worry about us, and fixing things that we need to fix. I watch us, 90% of our issues right now, they're all fixable. Everything's not always fixable. We're dealing with some injuries. Lost Josh Burrell now. Josh will be out, I don't know, at the best, probably 6 to 8 weeks. He ended up having surgery yesterday. He got hurt to play forward. He was a big part of our plan, when we lost him. And we got other guys, and we'll make that adjustment. So, I think it's balancing all that. But, Stetson, they're their 10 personnel team spreads out, or, something we hadn't seen this year, seen a little bit of it, but I mean, that's who they are, play after play. But that is a good sign, they're making adjustments, and I think it's also a little bit of sign of being early in the year. You talk about early games, I just feel, I'm sure Notre Dame, everybody thought they were the best team in the country. Now everybody thinks they're the worst team in the country. I walked in the other night, after the game, I get home and look, it's the third quarter, and Clemson's got 60-some points against a great Appalachian program. It's just the world we're in a little bit right now, and so, each scoreboard, there's some, like some people in our league, you play pretty good the first week, you don't play very good next, so every week's different. You just gotta go prepare and see if you can, again, focus on getting better, improvement. We'll continually make personnel adjustments, special teams play a big part of that. A lot of good stuff I see, just way too many mistakes. Luke did, maybe Luke.
Baylor, it occurred to me that everything that y'all are saying is probably almost the same thing that Charleston Southern people were saying last week after they had a lead, after they had lost to the Citadel. And probably the dedication to correct the little things, fix the flaws. That's probably, if they had an advantage Saturday, that's probably one of them, because they were chastened by that loss. And it seems like to me, this game will be very much like Saturday was for the team that won. I just wondered if you thought about that.
Yeah, I think just the same thing coaches have been saying, just like you hit it on the head, it's little things, mistakes, and like Coach said, he came and talked to us yesterday in the meeting, it's little stuff, but it's all correctable, most of it's correctable. Sometimes you can't correct mistakes, sometimes there's things that you can't control, but a lot of stuff's just, and all 11 guys in the field doing their job every single play, and it comes down to 10 guys are doing their job and one guy doesn't, that affects the whole team, so we just gotta get everybody on the same page, and everything will get fixed.
And I'd say this, Bonnie, I feel like really I have a lot more idea about where we are as a team after Saturday than I did the week before. So I'm like, okay. Just like, what did you, we watched the tape 2 weeks ago, and we tried to learn from it, but it was just really kind of hard to come back. Where are you? Kind of like I know kind of where we are and what we really got to do to get better, going forward. So that's really kind of where our focus is.
Well, Baylor, with both redshirt seniors, does it seem like you've been here that long, and is there any sense of urgency? This is your final year here at Baylor Houston.
It doesn't seem like I've been here that long, it kind of flies by. I talked to the young guys, especially like Gavin Hall's a freshman in our room running back, and he's been doing good during camp, and I remember telling him just take it serious and enjoy every day because it flies by. Yes, there's definitely a sense of urgency, because I think Luke can speak, I know on the offensive side ball and the defense, just practice against each other every day. We know how good this team can be when we're clicking and doing what we're supposed to do. So there's a sense of urgency to get there, but we also got to trust the process and just take it and embrace it every day by day.
Yeah, it's definitely flown by quick. I think I played my 45th game last weekend, so it's been a while. I'm really happy I came back for my 5th year. I really enjoy it here. This place is home, and thankful the opportunity Coach gave me to be here. But I think just enjoying it this season, just trying to be a leader and get us going in the right direction.
Baylor, you spent 3.5 years as a receiver, 3+ years, and toward the end of last year, make the switch to running back. You ran a lot in high school. I imagine you like this switch. Do you like running the ball versus running routes more now?
Yes, sir. I mean, it's a good change. I remember I got called up in here last year before the Montana week because we had so many injuries in our running back room, which was terrible. And Coach kind of called me in his office and he said, "We watched a lot of tape of you guys, and you're one of the guys we think we want to move running back. Would you want to do that? And whatever helps the team." So I went through camp and spring ball running back, and I've enjoyed it. Coach Calder's done a great job, and Coach Hendricks done a great job. The whole staff's done a great job, and those guys, Mine and Grant, have helped me a lot. And I've enjoyed it.
Clay, I've talked to a lot of basketball coaches over the years, and they talk about rebounding being more mindset and effort than it is skill. And I'm wondering if maybe some of that applies. You're talking about the jump balls that you've been in position to get that you haven't gotten so far. Does that come into play, mindset and determination, as much as being in the right place at the right time?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think actually the kid made those plays. The kid made those two catches the other night for them. certain guys have knacks for that. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's something you can teach, I don't know. You know, you can work on it, but I do think that's a pretty natural thing. And again, I think we got some guys that aren't gonna be quite as good, but, you know, even if you're a defensive perspective, if you don't catch it, don't let them catch it, you know, and certainly we like to get our hands on some. And then, yeah, I think the biggest one is just missing the open ones, you know, and man, it's just, that's been a continual thing. You know, we had a good number of explosive plays the other night, something we struggled all year with last year. Against a really, I thought, a pretty athletic defensive group. You know, we had a bunch of explosion plays, but, man, it's just those that, you know, you get chances to get chunks, and, you know, that's it's the difference in the game. You know, if we can hit those, and, you know, we'll continue to work at it. Our guys are capable, because I've seen us do it, you know. But we just gotta continue to work.
Are your offensive linemen still cross-trained to play every position?
We still, a lot of them, I can't say they're all that way. You know, in there, there, we've been a little thin at, so we probably, you know, some key guys, we got some older guys who do a little bit more of that, yeah.
And I noticed that the rotation on defense was similar to last year. Are you playing as many?
Yeah, defensive, we're still playing a lot of guys. We don't play as many on offense. Did play as many on offense last year. But no, defensive, we're still playing a bunch of guys there. Now, a lot of the second group of guys now are a lot of young guys, more so than it was a year ago. Where last year, a lot of our backup kids were old kids. But no, we still got pretty good rotation working.
What was the silver lining from Saturday? When you look back at it, what was something that video study showed you that you did a pretty darn good job?
Well, I think the same thing. Our kids kind of hang in there, and they can continue hanging in the fight. You know, just again, as poorly as we did some stuff, and ball security and some penalties that hurt us. And, you know, we used that Furman beating Furman. I thought we beat Furman in a lot of ways the other night. Again, I don't want to take anything away from our opponent, but yeah, we still sat there and had a chance to win the football game. Had lots of chances to do that. And I don't know, I just really pleased with how our kids respond. I was really pleased with their preparation. You know, a little bit younger group, maybe made a comment Saturday, you know, late game, just everything from pregame. I just thought our kids were locked in. I didn't think that was a factor. I just think it's a little bit of, can you go out there and execute when the bullets start flying? Can you handle that situation? And they came back, how they were after the game, how we came yesterday. We had our normal beat day. We went out. Obviously, practice is not real heavy on Sunday. How we did that, we conditioned at the end. You know, doing all the things we need to do to continue to get better. But again, there's no way to grow up fast. And I think a lot of those mistakes are a little more. You don't see that more often with a younger group. But now, when you have problems with there's older guys doing it, and I don't think I've seen quite as much of the older guys. So I think the want to's there. I think that's probably the want to, and we got some talent. So I think that's encouraging.
Just for Luke and Baylor as well, and you are older guys, redshirt seniors, as we talked about a moment ago. How important is it for both of you as redshirt seniors to be leaders on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, you know, I think just coming with age comes with experience and knowledge, and I'm just, you know, I want to pour what I've learned here, not just as a football player, but as a man to these guys. You know, want to see them change. You know, we got some guys that are still developing, and you know, they're young, so that's normal. But I think just being able to get them on the right path to be successful players has been what, you know, my kind of ideal has been. And you know, usually when you can, you know, do stuff off the field right, it really helps on the field. So just, you know, it's important to get those guys to come along and, you know, be like the guys who come before me too.
Yeah, pretty much piggybacking off of what Luke said, it's just, I think being a redshirt senior, just like Luke, just kind of passing your experience down. You've kind of been in their shoes before, been here, we've both been here, it's our 5th year here, so kind of just showing those young guys the right decisions to make and how to make things easier on yourself and where to put your time and effort and how to just make everything fall into place.
This is also for both players. I talked to Coach about this, and we talked about it a bit in the press conference and the pregame radio last week. But from a player's standpoint, what does it mean to come out every Saturday now and have that memorial to Bryce at Fieldhouse end zone. And what does it mean to have Fred and Terry staying as engaged as they have been with the team, with the players, with you guys as individuals?
I mean, words can't really describe, that feeling of honoring him and, how strong his parents are. It's unbelievable. I can't imagine just how strong those two people are. The amount of respect and love we have for them is just tremendous, and having that, there for Bryce is special. And, it's awesome. I mean, I love it.
There's not really words to describe that family situation. I mean, Coach talks to us every day. Every time we have a team meeting, he hits it on the head talking about being a Furman man, and there wasn't a better example on this football team and in this program than Bryce Stanfield. So that's something that I know I carry with me every day. And when things get hard, we're running or during the game, it just comes up in my head and gives you everything I need.
You made reference to a term I've been using for 40 years about that game where it seems like the field's tilted against you all the time, and you have the feeling that nothing is going to, you don't have to earn whatever you get. I can tell you that the moment in that game when my heart skipped a beat was when that field goal bounced off the upright, because it's just like, there's gonna be a time when things go all your way, but there'll be a time when everything goes wrong. The penalty's wrong, the pass is wrong, the errors were largely unforced. So I think that's one of the greatest challenges any football team has, because that's going to happen sometime.
Well, control what you can control. And for us, that's just our preparation, how we go about. But you certainly have to be able to go out there and execute. And that's what's so unique. And it's a learned art. Our sport's a unique deal. I can't say you can't go out in the backyard and work on it, but so many of those things aren't. You gotta be able to do it in a practice setting, and then be able to carry it over. And again, I think that's just a little bit of where we are. And I think I keep reminding these guys. You flash back 2 years ago in Charleston, we fought our tails off to win. And I think we have a lot more of those games than people think we have. We've been in a bunch of those games, and and I think even playing poorly the other night in a lot of ways, our kids fought. We still have a great chance to kind of get it done. And that whole year's going to be like that. This whole year's going to be like that. And a lot more games like that probably than a year ago, the last 2 years that you remember if you go back and truly look at how the game played out. So again, we just need to control what we can control.
Coach, what's it like for you after a game? Do you have a routine? And maybe it depends on whether you win or lose, or whether you're at home and then you flip the script, and the next day, Sunday, are you guys right back at it, or do you prepare a little bit in advance? How does that work for you?
No, well, we meet with our team back in the field house right after the game, and that part doesn't change. Certainly a lot more fun. Got more points than the other team. And then I literally go, Hunter, we do our, most of you guys are involved, we do a little press conference down in the office line room right afterwards. And then, the home night game, which we don't play a lot of them. No, I'm usually around here for a little bit, but rarely have I gone in there and watched the tape. Usually the tape is up by a certain time. Rarely never do that. Saturday evening, if you can have an afternoon game, you got a little time off at home, and then, we work on, Sundays. I'd like to go to church Sunday morning. We have, I can't say I'm always there based on what we do, but I don't know, I think our window, we moved to Sunday practice 2 years ago, and it's been good. Just because of Monday, or just because of class conflicts, lab conflicts, so our players are off today. Good day for us to work to get ahead, but Sundays have been so crammed in the past. But, we lift, we meet, we watch the tape, we put that in bed, and then do a little bit of practice stuff. And I try to be done with them at about 6 o'clock dinner, so at least they have their evening. The other thing is when you go on Sunday, they don't truly have a day off. They're off today, but they're in class. And class here is a little different in most places. So, we're a sport of routine, and that's pretty much how we're set up throughout the week.
Clay, as we wrap it up, turn it back to you for a final comment, but in that, just some thoughts on your opponent this week, Stetson.
Yeah, she's excited to be back at home again. Don't know a lot about them other than what I've watched. I know they've been in that Pioneer League and have watched them follow them. Probably the other coach there is a Georgia Southern guy, so I've met him a couple of times. Clay Maz, our old ops guy, was coaching there. When I hired him here. New OC who actually came from out of Cal Poly, actually plays. I went and visited this summer when I was out there. I popped in, don't know him, and a little bit of that, you can watch it, a little bit of that, you can see that, a little bit of the West Coast influence and what they're doing offensively and spreading it out, throwing it around. A lot of kids from similar areas that we recruit, just when I scanned down through their roster. First time, well, I say first time, maybe we played them way back. I don't know, Hunter could probably tell you about that, but again, we're just excited to go play. I think you don't give it so many opportunities, and when you feel like you kind of wasted one, I think that creates even a little more of an urgency. And again, I think everything we've done, and even going forward, is getting ready for a couple of weeks from this Saturday, when we kick off conference play, which is for us is our ultimate goal. Is going to give us a chance to continue to do things we want to do. And what we do this week is going to help us, give us a better chance to be ready for that. But just excited to get a chance to go play again. These kids, does my heart good just to listen to these guys. And they are learning. Sometimes you think they're not listening. They're listening more than you think sometimes. But no, I enjoy this group. I've enjoyed the way they've practiced, the way they've prepared. I want them to see them go play up to their capabilities. And that's what we're shooting for this week.
Sometimes they've mastered the art of coach speak.
I agree. They've heard it enough.
Well, thank you to Coach Clay Hendricks, to Luke Clark, and Baylor Hughes for joining us today on this week's Furman Football Weekly. 2 o'clock kickoff here at Paladins Stadium on Saturday. TV broadcast on ESPN Plus. The radio broadcast will begin at 12:30 with the Pepsi countdown to kickoff. So we'd love to have you at the stadium. Tickets available, FurmanPaladins.com there. And if you can't make it, you've got your options to listen and watch. Thank you all for joining us for this week's edition of Furman Football Weekly. I'm Dan Scott. God bless you. So long, everybody.